owner of Freshwater Ventures, Jeff Matson. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Bart. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Nice to see you. Jeff used to come on the show a long time ago, many times, as a financial expert and investment advisor.
I did. That was probably sneaking up on 15 to 20 years ago now,
Wow.
but it's been a while.
So you've taken your own advice and become an expert investor.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I did have the opportunity to work with a college friend, and we formed a small group and have purchased a number of small South Central, Northern Indiana companies.
Now, it's private equity that purchases these
Yes.
businesses. Now, typically when we hear about private equity funds buying a business, we hear stories about, we're cutting costs, all we're interested in is profit.
That's right.
We don't care about the employees, we don't care about the community. But you've made it the mission of Freshwater Ventures to change all that.
We do, Brett. You know, we spend a lot of time in Michigan, my partner and I, and we went at it from a different viewpoint. We don't consider ourselves private equity, we consider ourselves permanent equity. We don't have any intention of selling. We just want to keep great Michigan businesses in Michigan, keep the employees, keep the seller's legacy going, and we want to work with the employees he's got. And so, yeah, this is not a cut costs, jam them together, sell it for a higher multiple and move on down the road kind of thing. This is, our mission is to see if we can't keep some great businesses that would otherwise maybe close or move out of Michigan here.
Yeah, we've talked off the air about this before. You've taken businesses that maybe the owner was thinking about just going out of business or winding down, and you've kind of re-energized them, brought new investment, but also new life.
Absolutely. There's a statistic, Bart, that says 70% of businesses that get listed, let alone the ones that don't sell. And it just gets wound down and those businesses close. And there's some great businesses out there that don't need to close. And so, it was kind of our thought that said the owner, when they're ready to be done for whatever reason, although realistically it's usually retirement, when they're ready to be done and they don't know what to do, we want to be there on a small number of cases to say, hey, maybe we can be the future. We can transition to new ownership.
Now, you're wearing the Power Barn shirt and you brought me a Power Barn hat. Is the Power Barn one of your Freshwater Ventures ventures?
It is not, although it is related, because my son Rusay partnered with the former owner of the Power Barn, and he is now kind of the majority owner of the Power Barn, and it's one of the Jackson companies, so it's one of the companies that might be most familiar to your viewership, with locations on Page Avenue here and in Lansing as well. But it's part of the greater family of companies, yes, but it's not an official freshwater company.
So what are the Freshwater Ventures companies?
We have Kidder Heating and Air Conditioning in Marshall, Michigan. We have Ranch Life, which is a vinyl fence and deck company based in Eaton Rapids, and does a lot of work in the Jackson area, so people might be somewhat familiar with Ranch Life, formerly known as Ranch Life Plastics. We have H&H Vinyl Fence and Deck in South Bend, Indiana, and then we have Spindell Electronics in Grand Rapids.
So aside from the two fence companies, they're all distinct and different in what industries they are.
Yes, we are somewhat industry agnostic. We're not going to be experts bluntly in any of those industries, nor do we plan on being the day-to-day operator. And so we're looking for good, mature businesses that are up for sale. And so, it didn't matter to us what industry it's in.
Do you go after a business that you notice, or does someone contact you because they're at that point where they want either to wind down or get out?
We've been at this for 5 years, Bart, and so we're starting to get some inbound calls, people saying, hey, I might be for sale. But realistically, most of the opportunities goes through a business broker network or just a network out there in the community.
How have these businesses done for you as an investment?
Well, so it's been a short track record so far, and but it's been very good. We started with our first purchase in November of 2019 and our second purchase in February of 2020, and 5 weeks later the state shut down. And
good timing.
Yes, exactly. That was a very nervous 5 or 6 weeks, but fortunately those businesses weren't too adversely affected by COVID and the shutdown in the state. And so, we were fortunate, lucky, not necessarily smart, because we hadn't planned for that. But it's worked out very well so far, and there's just some fantastic employees in these small towns that really love coming to work and working with us.
When this started, I know a little bit about how it got underway. It seems like high risk, but I would say you're a high risk person.
Well, once again, that's why we're doing mature, profitable businesses that we're looking at. We're not turnaround experts. We're not trying to save a company and think that we know better. And we're not leveraging the businesses either. And so there's no debt on any of these companies, which makes it a little bit less risky.
So they're in good shape to begin with.
Absolutely.
They're doing
Absolutely.
well.
Absolutely.
And you've also, with this, been able to share some expertise. You've given seminars and presentations.
Well, we've been fortunate to gain a lot of experience in our business purchasing time, and we've learned that sellers usually only get to sell one business in their lifetime, and they're not quite ready for it. And so yes, one of our missions is to maybe help some sellers, even if we're not the buyers, but also have them have a better experience and figure out how they can sell their business successfully.
And they probably want to keep coming in and checking the mail and just poking around.
Well, former owners are a Duke's mixture, right? That they have the knowledge, they have the passion, they founded it, they made it successful, and so you've got to give them a lot of credit for that. But at the same time, they were selling because maybe they were tired, or maybe the business had plateaued and was only going to get that big. And so, while we welcome their input, you've got to be a little careful that they're not still coming in 10 years later and those types of things.
They still want to check the mail. I mean,
Well,
when
they do.
Yeah, when they turn that mailbox key over to you, then they're ready to
Exactly,
return.
exactly. We actually benefited potentially a little bit in COVID when some of those owners who, a little bit elderly, decided to stay home to protect their health. And that was their exit strategy that forced them out the door a little sooner.
Yeah, so many you do hear about these stories. It was COVID either did them in, or that was just a great time to stop.
Exactly.
All right, this Power Barn.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the barn.
Okay, so
Do you call it the barn? for
We
sure?
do. We absolutely call it the barn. I used to say when I was driving home from work, I'm heading for the barn, but now the barn means something different in the family. Bob Sales started the business about 25 years ago as Jackson Outdoor Equipment, and people might recognize that name. About 5 or 6 years ago, it became the Power Barn, and essentially it sells lawnmowers and snowblowers. So, we make grass short and we throw snow.
Well, not last year you didn't.
Well, no, that's one of the difficulties in this business, is that we're fighting Mother Nature, and sometimes she wins because we've had 2 mild winters in a row, and that's not great in snowblower sales and repair.
Got to figure out something else these snowblowers could do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Rototill, can they do?
Yes, we're looking for, all these businesses are looking for what else can we do in the winter. Should we sell salt? Should we work on snow plows? But if you're not blowing snow, you're not plowing snow either.
I got a tour of the Power Barn, and it's very amazing. The back room, it's a huge repair facility.
It absolutely is. You think about some of the big box stores, Bart, and they sell a lot of this equipment, but they don't service it. And so where are people going to go for service? Now, clearly we like servicing our own equipment first and foremost, but there aren't as many repair shops. When your car breaks down, in Jackson County, you've got 40 repair shops you can go to. When your lawnmower breaks down, there's about 5 or 6. And obviously in the spring, when you dust the cobwebs off your lawnmower, all 5 or 6 of those shops get overrun. And so, it can be a bit of a trick managing the amount of work. But it's been fun, and there's some great people out there as well. So we're happy to be involved.
So now would be a good time to get your snowblower looked at.
It absolutely would, yes. We can get it going because it might have been sitting for 2 years now since there hasn't been enough snow.
What are the manufacturers that you handle at the Power Barn?
So we deal with the Ariens Company, which has Ariens and Gravely lawnmowers. Gravely is a big brand around the Jackson area, and also Cub Cadet,
cool.
the yellow. So those are the 3 big brands that we deal with.
Well-respected brands.
Yeah, exactly. Top of the line.
All right, if people are interested in talking to you about investing in their legacy, having you invest in their legacy, you can contact via the website.
Absolutely, and just Jeff at freshwater.ventures. But I love to have those conversations because even if we don't end up being a purchaser, we always learn something through those conversations and meet great people.
Awesome. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Well, I appreciate it. It's good to be back here, Bart.
You bet. From Freshwater Ventures, Jeff Matson.